Hello, Pine with third graders. Today I'm going to teach you a little bit more about traits and how there can be variation of traits. On Monday you watched a video about this on Generation Genius. Today we're going to look at your traits and which traits you inherited or came from your mom or your dad or maybe even your grandparents. And we're going to be learning about this for a couple of weeks. Have you ever thought of what makes you one of a kind? There are over 7 billion people in the world, and yet no one is exactly like you. We're going to be looking at why we look the way we look and act the way we act. And so when you look at these pictures, you can see there's a lot of variation here. Variation in traits like hair color and eye color and skin color. And what makes us all different. Now here are some pictures of me with my daughters, and you can see a lot of people say they look a lot like me. And that's because they've inherited some traits from me. They've inherited their eye color and their hair color and even their face shape looks like mine. And so those are traits they inherited from me. But you probably noticed that I'm shorter than all of my daughters. They inherited their height from their father. You'll also notice that my daughter Anna wears glasses and the rest of us don't. That's a trait she inherited from someone else in our family. Here's some pictures of me when I was a little girl. And you can see a lot of people say I look a lot like my sisters. This is me. But I don't look a lot like my parents. And so I did not inherit my hair color from my mom or dad. And I did not inherit my eye color from my mom or dad. My eye color actually came from my grandmother. I do have traits that I inherited from my parents, but not as many as my daughters inherited from me. I don't look exactly like them. Today, you are going to do a trait inventory. So after you watch this video, you're going to click on a link to a Google document called Trait Inventory, where you can check off which traits you have. And then if you want to, you can also have your parents, brothers, sisters, or grandparents fill it out too, but only you have to. But if you want to do it with more people, you can. Some of the questions that you're going to answer. Do you have dimples? Dimples are those little lines that are on your cheeks when you smile. Do you have freckles? These are all things that you inherited from someone in your family. Are your earlobes attached or free? This is a tricky one. So my earlobes are free because they're not attached like this. This is an attached earlobe. This is attached, and this one's free. You have to decide which kind of earlobes you have. Are you good at art? Are you right-thumbed or left-thumbed? So for this one, you have to put your hands together and see which thumb is on top. For me, it's my left thumb. For some people, when they put their hands together, it'll feel more comfortable with their right thumb on top. You just have to figure out which one it is for you. You have a cleft chin. That's like a little dimple in your chin, like in these pictures. I don't have one. Are you right-handed or left-handed? Which hand do you write with? Can you roll your tongue like this? So if you can, it's going to look like this. If you can't, you'll feel like you're trying to roll your tongue, but it'll still be flat. Can you play a musical instrument? Singing counts. If you're good at music, even if you haven't started taking music lessons yet, you can say yes. Can you play a sport? Any physical activity counts for a sport. So if you like to play basketball on the playground, you like gym class, gymnastics, cheerleading, ice skating, all sports. Do you have finger hair? You have to look carefully at your fingers and see. It's really small if you have it. I don't, but some of you might have little tiny hairs growing on your fingers. You have bent little fingers. This one can be tricky. You have to put them together like this, and you can see mine are really straight, but some people's curve out. You have to see what your fingers do. What are your eye color? And a lot of kids will say they have 2 different eye colors or they change colors. You can put down as many as you need to describe your eyes. My eyes are blue. Do you have a widow's peak? For this one, you have to actually pull your hair back and look in the mirror. And you want to see, like you see I have that widow's peak there, where my hair goes down to a point. And you can ask mom or dad, or you can look yourself. This is a widow's peak, and this one is like straight across his forehead, so he doesn't have a widow's peak. All right, once you fill in your traits, if you did it with someone in your family, you can say, compare. You can find out how many traits you have in common with your mom or your brother or your sister or your dad, or you could find out how many traits you have different. Those are things you should talk about. And then I want you to think about what are some traits you inherited from someone in your family. So if someone didn't do this trait inventory with you, that's fine. But still think, and eye color is an easy one. Did you inherit your eye color from mom or from dad or from your grandparents? All right, and so you're going to answer that. Have fun.